Here is a continuation of what we started yesterday. What did we start yesterday? A speech that the Lubavitcher Rebbe gave in 1992, in the very beginning of 1992. And in the Jewish calendar, it was the last Shabbat in the month of Tevet, in this month, the month of Tevet. And it's blessing the month of Shvat. So we have a lot of topics here that the Rebbe is discussing, but the main topic the Rebbe is discussing is the pressing and obvious question aroused by the first sentence in this week's Torah reading. Now, again, the Torah was given by God to the Jewish people, and God creates the world constantly. That's what the Baal Shem Tov taught us. Every detail in the world is being created constantly from God's speech. Constantly. And the Torah is also God's speech. The Torah is a deeper type of a speech. The Torah is telling us why every detail in the world, why it's being created, what's the purpose. And the idea is to inspire us to be more honest and to be more dynamic and to be more positive and to be more happy and to be more helpful. So that's everything. So therefore, in order to teach us this, so there's all these details in the Torah which don't really seem to make that much sense because life doesn't seem to make that much sense. And when you put them together, it starts to make a little bit of sense. The whole world seems to be. We start to realize that what's missing from the Torah, the reason the Torah sometimes doesn't make sense is because we're not applying it to the world. And the world doesn't make sense because we're not connecting it to the Torah. But when you connect them both together, so it starts to make a whole different type of a sense. Here's one example. So as we just finished learning, the Torah is the story that the Jewish people were in slavery. And they were in slavery for, a couple hundred years. And it just got worse and worse. And God picks Moses, take the Jews out, and it got worse yet. And Moses asks God, "What are you doing, God? Why are you torturing the Jews?" And God answers back that to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they didn't ask questions like this. They had no doubts. They knew that I was doing was right. I really sort of regret that I didn't give them the Torah or what did I pick? But I picked you. What can we do? I regret. But the fact is I did pick you and I'm going to give you the Torah. You're going to get the Torah. And the Torah has my essence name in it. But the Avos were better. So the Rebbe says, how if Abraham and Isaac and Jacob are better, so why does God not give them? Why didn't he give them the Torah? Why didn't he give them the Torah? If they were better. Says, how was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob better? How were they better? Says, let's take Abraham. Says, Abraham, he was the one that opened the door. He opened the spiritual realms that the Torah could be given in this physical world. How did he do it? First of all, he circumcised himself. Circumcising himself was a commandment from God to do something in this physical world, lasting, a lasting, permanent thing in this world that would last. And it was passed down to all the Jews for all generations. That was the opening for the Torah. The Torah was telling us to do, on Mount Sinai, God told us to do physical things in this world that would be passed down physically to all the Jews for all time. Abraham, number one. Number two, Abraham made a marriage for his son, Yitzchak, and for his wife-to-be, which was Rivka, which according to Kabbalah, that's the unification of God's blessing, which is Yitzchak, with Rivka, which is the physical world. Ma and Ban, the numerical values, God's Kabbalistic stuff, but nevertheless, that's number two. Number three, how did Abraham implement this unification of the upper worlds and the lower worlds, Yitzchak and Rivka, by means of Eliezer? Eliezer, and Eliezer was his servant, was not a Jew. And so it means that he even used, he joined the non-Jews also into this whole covenant, into this whole amazing process of revealing God in the world. Eliezer. So that's Abraham in a lot of ways was better. Not only that, Abraham, God said, I promised him all sorts of things, Abraham, and I didn't come across with anything, right? God promised Abraham he's going to have children like the stars in the heavens, and this, and only had one son, Yitzchak. So Abraham could have thought, well, okay, one son is also okay. I mean, the world started off with one person, right? One person, and all the world came from one person. So, that God said, oh yeah, one thing, before this Yitzchak, he has the whole world, and the whole world is built from him. And before he gets married, take him and kill him. So Abraham didn't say, what? God, what are you talking about? God, how can you tell me to take him and sacrifice? You said he was going to be. And what's going on over here? Abraham didn't say that. Moses did. Moses said, God, you said you're taking the Jewish people out. You're doing exactly the opposite. Moses had questions, and Abraham had no questions. Abraham could have said, at least let him get married. My son Yitzchak, let him get married. He'll have a son, Yaakov, and from him will come the whole world. God said, no. Before he gets married, you have to take him and kill him, and that's how it's going to. That's how it's going to be, right? Abraham could have said, well, where are all the promises? Come on, God, you're supposed to be kind. That's not kind. That's not kind. Think about father killing his son. That's not kind. Abraham didn't ask any questions. Of course, in the end, it came out, okay, here we are. We're Jews today. And the whole thing of Abraham taking his son to kill him, his willingness to do so, Tanya says, and he did it with joy. That's the whole basis of Judaism. Okay, but the fact is that Abraham didn't ask questions. He didn't ask any questions. And God told him to do a thing which was totally, how do you say, insane. The opposite of any human relationship, right? Nobody has a relationship with that. Making business partners. A business partner says, okay, good. I want you to give me all of your money, all of your children, and this, and I'm going to burn the whole thing up. And that's our partnership. What do you say? So, that's good. That's a good partnership. Yeah, it's going to great. Sure. Right? What type of partner is that? It's ending the partnership. Right? God says, take your son and kill him. That's it. No, Abraham didn't ask any questions. Whatever you say. And Moses is asking questions. Nevertheless, God says, I will appear, even though that Abraham in many ways was much superior to Moses. In the ways we just said, Abraham, he began the whole thing of Torah with the circumcision. And he made this match between the upper worlds and the lower worlds with Rivka and Yitzchak. And he used Eliezer. And he didn't ask any questions. So Abraham in many ways was superior to Moses. And God lets him know it. God lets him know it. That Moses, you should know you're inferior to Abraham. Nevertheless, it says, Ve'er al Avram, it says, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but my name, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, the essence name of God, I didn't make known to them. Why? Because true, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, especially Abraham, he did do a physical commandment, but it's not like what I'm going to give to you. Moses, I'm going to make it possible for you through the Torah to reveal pure godliness in the whole world permanently, which is not the case by Abraham. He just revealed it only in the circumcision and only in the Jewish people that circumcised themselves. Abraham, he made that all the Jewish people are special. Moses made it that the whole world is special. We're going to see. Mia Biurim, one of the explanations in the revelation of the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, and why is that this essence name of God that was revealed at Mount Sinai? What's the connection? The Chibur Elyonim, that it joined the upper worlds with the lower worlds, like what Abraham did when he made the circumcision. Hamshachat Elokut Bolam, this is drawing godliness into the world. Even though that the name of God is above the world, before the world was created, God creates time, to draw this into the world, even since Sheshem Havaya, this name of God, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, is unlimited. So if it's unlimited, it means that it also is not unable to be revealed in the world. Mitzad tokef agiloi, the aura bli gavul, because of an infinite light, an infinite reality being revealed also into this physical world. If God is unlimited, so that means that there's nothing that he can't do. Can't do. He can do anything. The Torah tells us which things are permissible and which things are not. But essentially, if God can do anything, so then maybe, we can worship a tree. God can do anything. Why not? So the answer to that is, yeah, you're right. According to your logic, it's true. But God gave the Torah. And in the Torah, it says that even though I'm creating everything and that I can do everything, but I'm telling you there's certain things that are forbidden and there's certain things which are obligatory. Certain things which you might want to do and that you cannot do, and certain things which are you don't want to do, but you have to do. That's the essence of the Torah, be revealing the essence of God in the world. But God nevertheless says that if you do what it says in the Torah, then my essence will be revealed here. Why? Because God says I'm infinite. And infinite means I can do whatever I want to. I can be revealed here in the world. A certain degree, that's what happened in the Holy Temple. The Holy Temple was a prototype of what the world is going to be. The essence of God revealed in the physical world. Even since the name of God is unlimited, and as we said, because by Abraham there was drawing down holiness in the world only in one thing, in the circumcision, in one particular limb of his body of Abraham, but the world, there wasn't drawing down, holiness wasn't drawn into the world. It wasn't recognized the tokef, the powerful revelation of infinite light of God. My name is not known to them. Right? The name of Yud-Ke Vav-Ke, the essence of God, which can be revealed in the world, that wasn't revealed. But on the other hand, since the drawing down of holiness below, in the circumcision, in a physical body of Abraham, this is by means of the power of the infinite power of God, which is unlimited. So this is the beginning of the revelation of Yud-Ke Vav-Ke. Abraham didn't reveal godliness in the whole world, but he did reveal godliness in one part. That's a big, amazing miracle. Torah. This power of infinity of God, which by means of it is drawn down godliness below. It's not nicker, it's not revelation revealed in the whole entire world. So Abraham was something like the Holy Temple. The Holy Temple there was godliness revealed only in one place, in the Holy of Holies. By Abraham, so to speak, godliness was revealed only in one place, in the place of his circumcision. And the goal of Judaism is that godliness should be revealed in the whole world. The whole world is a creation of God. According to this, we can understand the language, Shemi Hashem, the name of my name was not made known. It doesn't say that I hodati, that I informed them. Ela lo nodati, lo nikarti, I was not recognized. Shehachisron hu rak bahakara v'itgalut. God's essence is, of course, in existence, but it's not recognized and it's not revealed. To be God's oneness to be recognized and revealed in the world, this began with circumcision. It began. But the big way that it's going to be revealed in the whole world, that was revealed at Mount Sinai. And in a little bit deeper way. That's also the difference between the 7 Noahide commandments before the Torah was given and after the Torah was given. First of all, the Torah existed before the world was created. And Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were able to tap into the Torah, so they knew what was right and wrong. But before the Torah had been given into the world, so the revelation of God was not revealed in the world. And the main thing by God is the physical world. That's the main thing by God. That's the whole story of the Bible, the physical world. When did God start to be revealed actually in the physical world? Right? That Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they did all the commandments, but they did all the commandments in a spiritual way. The physical things that they did, they were just like sort of signs, something like the signs that God gave to the different prophets. Remember, we just learned the other week what God told Ezekiel, write on 2 pieces of wood, one piece write on the Yehuda, and the other one write Yisrael, Yosef. And we had that he gave to Ezekiel, also the what is it, the a plate of iron between you. This is talking about the 10th day of Tavis. Is that, remember we said that Nebuchadnezzar was going to lay siege. There were signs, but the signs didn't last. The same thing with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They did the commandments, but they did it in a way that didn't last. It was just a sign. Circumcision was different. Circumcision was an actual commandment in the physical world, but it was only a very limited place, only to the Jews, and only in one particular place, one Jew, one place of his body. And then the other Jews that he circumcised. But when God gave the Torah in the physical world in Mount Sinai, then the Torah became not just the Torah, but the revelation of God became in the physical world. The novelty of what that God can join the upper worlds with the lower worlds at Mount Sinai means that in the world which there is upper worlds, lower worlds, heaven and earth, until there's even says there's was like called a spiritual law and the distance between the upper worlds and the lower worlds. The upper worlds didn't come down and the lower worlds didn't go up. Before the Torah was given, there were only a few that knew there was such a thing as upper worlds. There's only, and in order to really unite with them, you had to leave this world. You had to be, how do you say, to abandon the physical. Like the sons of Jacob, it says that they were all shepherds. They had to abandon the physical world. They had to leave the physical world. Then they could connect to God. That's why they didn't recognize Joseph. It says Joseph, he was in the physical world, and he was still connected to God. They thought he wasn't from our family. They couldn't figure out what. It says, but at Mount Sinai, Batla Gezerah, when God gave the Torah at Mount Sinai, suddenly the most spiritual place, the highest of the highs, became revealed in the low. And in this physical world, here, by doing the commandments, you could reach the highest of the highs. It was negated, it was stopped, this decree of the upper worlds and the lower worlds, the Naseh Chibur that was joining the upper worlds and the lower worlds together. That's the message of Judaism. Like I said, so many times, this physical world is infinitely higher than the highest of the spiritual worlds. This physical world is connected to the essence of God. The highest is revealed in lowest, and conversely, when we do something in this world, this world affects the essence of God. So God is revealed here, and on the other hand, when we do something here, that affects God, elevates the world, so to speak. All of them, but as far as level of, so there's a difference between the physical and the spiritual. That's in this world. But in regard to the essence of God, which is above, up and down, it's not relevant. This decree of you want to be spiritual, you have to be spiritual. Want to be physical, you have to be physical. There's a big divide between the spiritual and the physical. That's only relating to the creation, but not in relation to the creator. By the creator, he's not limited to up and down. A division between upper worlds and lower worlds that's found in the upper worlds and the lower worlds. By the essence of God, the upper worlds, spiritual and physical, are equal. They're equal, even before the giving of the Torah. The novelty of the giving of the Torah is, the essence of God was there before the Torah was given. But the main thing is, Shegam begidre olam. The main thing of the giving of the Torah is that even in this physical world, there's a decree and a separation between the upper and the lower, that we can draw down the essence of godliness, which is above the world, in the physical world. That's the goal of Judaism, to make this physical world reveal the essence of God. And from this is understood also relevant to the Gilui Shem Havaya in Matan Torah. Let's say it another way. In order for a person to go to heaven, you have to die, right? Here, but through Torah, you can reveal a level which is higher than heaven while you're still alive. When a person is alive, he's connected to the physical. After he dies, he's connected to the spiritual. You want to be connected to the spiritual, you have to be disconnected from the physical. Disconnect. That was how it was before the Torah was given. But after the Torah was given, it's possible by means of the Torah to reveal the highest essence of God in this physical world. That's the idea of the third temple. That's what God said to Moses, say to the Jewish people, I am God. And I took you for me to be a people. For datem, you should know that I am God. This novelty is connected with the service of the Jewish people in this physical world by doing the Torah and the commandments. This brings about a joining of the upper worlds and the lower worlds. That's the novelty of the giving of the Torah. But we have to remember, who did God give the Torah to? He gave it to the Jews. Jews are a physical people. So it must be that there is a difference in this physical world. In this physical world, there already was a sort of a revelation of God, essence of God in the world before the Torah was given. It says even beforehand, there was the essence of what a Jew is, the Jewish people, the essence of the Jewish people, and this is even higher than the Torah. So we're saying the Torah revealed the essence of God, but that's a lower aspect of the essence of God than the Jewish people themselves. That explains why if a Jew goes against the Torah, all he has to do is return to God and God forgives him. You think if the Torah is the essence of God and a Jew goes against the Torah, then that's it. There's no way to get forgiveness for that. Right? So the answer is of course not. The Jews in their essence are above the Torah. So the thoughts of the thought that there was going to be such a thing as the Jewish people is before everything. It was before God gave the Torah that were the Jews. Even the Jews are even above the Torah. That this is the level of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in their source, they're higher than the Torah. The source and the essence of the Jewish people. And this began from Abraham. Echaraya Abraham. So Abraham in his source, he's the source of the Jewish people. The Jewish people are higher than the Torah. But the Jewish people without the Torah, they can't reveal God in the world. And that's the whole reason that they're here. But the essence of a Jew, like I said before, a Jew, let's say he does all the sins, doesn't do any commandments. 1 minute before he dies, he thinks to himself, what have I done? How have I wasted my life? This is awful. I got to change. Please bring me a pair of tefillin and do something. Shema Yisrael, Hashem, that's it. And he dies. So he says he revealed the essence of his soul. It's above the Torah. All of his sins get wiped away, but he didn't affect the world. He didn't have the effect on the world that he was supposed to. Good God forgives him that he revealed that the Jews are above the Torah, but the Jews without the Torah, they can't function in the world. They can't function in the world. So it says that's the idea of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were higher than the Torah. They were connected to the essence of God. That's why they didn't have any questions. That's why they could begin this whole thing of giving the Torah, etc., and begin the linking of God with the world, with Elliot, with Rivka and Yitzchak, and even to how do you say, activate the non-Jews. That's with Eliezer. They could do all these things, but it wasn't really lasting physical. The reason was because the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they represented the essence of God as it is higher than the Torah, but not as it is in the world. They could start to show what God wants. The Hechil, that began with Abraham. It says Abraham was one. He was the beginning. He opened up the pipeline and the power of faith and self-sacrifice from the essence of the soul, which is above the Torah. The novelty, if so, of the revelation of God, the Matan Torah, was that the essence of the Jewish people, that's the level of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, could be drawn down and revealed also into the physical world, that it was accessible to everybody. The kolchot and nefesh and the powers of the soul, even how they are in the physical world, in the physical body, in our day-to-day life, in order to have an effect on the whole entire world, drawing down this level of godliness, which is above the world into the world. That was the linking together of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and therefore our Torah portion starts off with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and in which they were, and God said, I regret and the losing them, that they were greater than you, Moses. So it says, yes, they were greater than Moses because they had the essence of godliness. But Moses had the thing that he could reveal it in the world. He could reveal it in the world, and that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were not able to do. So therefore, the Torah portion begins with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But on the other hand, it says that Abraham and Jacob, even though they were greater, but they were lacking one thing. And that's why they were lacking this name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, that was going to be revealed to the whole world at Mount Sinai. And that's what we're going to talk about more, God willing, tomorrow. And now let's do the Yom Yom. I got to stop 1 second.